by you playing the saxophone, it's been a lot of, great musicians that jumped on that instrument. Did you have any influences, at that time, like any icons or famous people that you really, dug into?
Well, yeah, Los Angeles was full of influences. One comes to mind in high school. The last part of high school, I was introduced to Horace Tapscott, and who was a great pianist. And before that, he was a great trombonist, but he ended up on the piano and had a orchestra, not an orchestra, but an orchestra. And the arc, for short, was the way that we were going to, that was going to take us into, into the new age, into the future, where we could, somewhere that we could rely on, survive through the arc. It was so the orchestra on Sundays they would perform at this high school, folks say junior high, as a matter of fact, and on every Sunday a free concert with the various musicians, and the Horace Tapscott Orchestra was one of them. And so I became, excuse me, integrated. And I once I met Horace, he would give young people a opportunity to play in the orchestra. I mean, if you, I guess, if you were chosen, and so I happened to be chosen, and the last year of the 12th grade year, and so I started performing with him, and so he had a great alto player, Arthur Blythe. Back then, he was known as Black Arthur. So Arthur Blythe. So he didn't need an alto player. So I ended up playing baritone saxophone, which was the big one. Not the biggest. The biggest was a bass sax, but the baritone I borrowed from the school, and the teacher there let me borrow that, and so I was playing a baritone uh, for my first, experiences with the orchestra, the Horace Tapscott Orchestra. But then time went by, and I ended up when I had changed to the tenor. Well, actually, I played alto after a while there. I did switch over to alto in the group, uh, and then on to some tenor. But then by then, I had a great opportunity had befallen me, and through my great friend I met actually through the Horse Tap Orchestra was the son of Bennie Golson, Reggie Golson, and rest in peace. And Reggie knew everybody, man. He just, Benny Golson, the great tenor saxophonist and composer that he is, uh, just they had just moved here from New York, and Reggie and I became friends. Actually, Benny was writing for some of the great TV shows at the time, Ironside, and I know he and Quincy Jones were vying for different positions, different movies, TV shows, and stuff. And so I ended up hanging out with Reggie on a daily basis. We would go up. They lived up at the top of the Hollywood Hills, and right next to Davy Jones from the group The Monkees. And anyhow, so through him, I ended up meeting the great Elvin Jones, the drummer from the John Coltrane organization. And I met him in such a way that it was at a time where one of his saxophone players, he had two saxophones, a bass, and himself. So there was no piano. And one, Dave Liebman, had just left Elvin and went to join Miles Davis. And so, I was invited to, while they were in town, I was invited to a uh, session. I mean, he said, well, come play, So it was actually being uh, initiated. He was taking me out to see if I was what Reggie had said I was. And I just happened to have a good day. And he said, man, you're with me, aren't you? He said, I got a plane ticket for you. So that's how I joined the Elvin Jones group, and I lived and performed with his family for 2.5 years. He and his wife Keiko, she just passed on. But and then from there, all kind of great things happened. The McCoy Tyner uh, opportunity revealed itself, and I ended up with his organization for 5.5 years. I can say that he was just and still to this day recognized as one of the greatest pianists in the history of music. So I did 3 albums with him. Did a couple of albums with Elvin. You know, just some regular stuff, or not. Yeah.
Wow, nah, that's phenomenal. That's beyond regular. I mean, you named some giants. But you worked with a lot of people like I was checking out online. Now you got a chance to connect with Mrs. Roberta Flack.
Yes.
Now what was that like?
Well, it was just real short. It was one evening, actually. I came out of the McCoy Tyner recording session. We did this album called Salamayuka, and I walked out and ran right into Alphonse Mouzon, who was the drummer on the sessions where Donny Hathaway and Roberta did the Closer I Get to You and all of that. And boy, I was tired too. I walked out, and then he said, "Oh, Azar, we need you, man. Come around the corner here, man. Come and follow me." So I was okay. I reluctantly went around the corner there, and when I got in the studio, Mtume was there, was my close friend, and all of these guys, and come to find out, Roberta was a big fan of Miles Davis, and I was going to perform with Miles Davis that weekend at Carnegie Hall. And so when I was standing there, I hear a woman's voice. She says, "You mean to tell me he's playing with McCoy Tyner and is getting ready to perform with Miles Davis?" And she told the guy, "Give him something to play." So that's how that went. We went down that road.
Oh wow, that's cool, man. I mean, people dream of even meeting some of these people, letting alone getting the opportunity to perform with them and for them, and all of that. That's major. Now, was Donny Hathaway around at this time or no?
No, I didn't see him.
Oh, okay, okay.